Hello and welcome, everybody. Check it out. New graphics. Holy moly. We are moving up in the world. Everybody, good morning. It's Mr. Tako. And welcome to the first YouTube live lesson of the year for 5th grade. I know, we've upgraded all of our facilities here. It's incredible. So, at the beginning of every lesson, what you're going to see is this page here, all right? Right above my head. That's the title. Today it's Welcome to 5th Grade Math. In the future, it'll be more kind of the lesson title or what we're working on that day, okay? Over here, there we go, is the materials you're going to need today. So if you don't have a math notebook and scratch paper or a whiteboard, or you don't have a pencil or a whiteboard marker to write on that whiteboard with, then go ahead and take a couple seconds to go grab that stuff because you will need something to write with today. All right, and then down here is the I cans for today. I can follow a lesson on YouTube, and I can multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. A little bit of a review for this first round out of the gate. All right, so basically how this flow is going to work is we're going to get our YouTube live lesson on. We're going to listen, we're going to take notes, we're going to have some independent practice, all right? After the lesson is over, 2 things are going to happen. 1, I'm going to open up the Zoom room, our usual link. I'm going to open that up. If you have questions about that day's content or you want some feedback on your work, you are welcome to log in to that Zoom and get those questions and feedback, and I will be there. If you're doing fine on your own and you want to keep trying it on your own, that's completely fine too, okay? Additionally, there is going to be an exit ticket posted on Google Classroom, all right? That exit ticket is due at noon, so do be a little bit timely. If you're watching this on replay, obviously you're not going to get it in at noon because you're watching it on replay, but get it in as soon as you finish the video and work on that exit ticket. Okay. Did I cover everything else? I think I did. In that Zoom room, eventually what we're going to build up to is doing a bunch of small group work in those Zoom rooms. So the kids that are working on particular skills or working on particular things can really dig in and get that help that they need. And then anybody else who has questions or wants feedback can come in as well. All right. Then for note-taking purposes, if you've got a math notebook or a math binder or somewhere in your notes to take notes, you're welcome to do that. If you want to use a whiteboard, you're welcome to do that too. Okay. Today, just as a little bit of a review, we are going to focus back in on multiplication. It's something we covered in 4th grade. So if it feels a little bit rushed, then it is because we've covered it a little bit already. There are also some YouTube live lessons from last spring about multiplication that go into a little bit more depth, and you're welcome to go and check those out as well. They're all on my channel. All right. So thinking about multiplication, this idea of like your times tables or this idea of something times something, that isn't really super descriptive on what you're actually doing. One way that I really like to think about multiplication is this idea that it's not 6 times 9, for instance, but really thinking about it in terms of groups. It's 6 groups of 9, and we're making equal groups as we go. This looks the most straightforward by using rectangles or using arrays. So let's take a look. Here we've got an array with that 6 times 9, right? We've got 6 rows with 9 in each row. We've also got 9 columns up and down with 6 in each column. In both cases, our product, or the amount of dots inside, is 54. 6 times 9, 9 times 6, they're both 54. So if we're thinking about it in equal groups, it becomes easier. And the nice thing about this sort of, we call it our array and getting into our area model, is it helps us break things down into smaller pieces. Let's say our 6s aren't the strongest. We don't have all of our 6s automatic yet, but we have our 2s automatic. What we can do is we can take those 6 groups of 9 and split it up. So now we've got 2 groups of 9 plus 2 groups of 9 plus 2 groups of 9. And if your 2s are feeling solid and automatic, you know 2 times 9 is 18. And then we can just do 18 plus 18 plus 18. And it also comes out to 54. We haven't added or subtracted any dots, so our product is always going to stay the same no matter how we break this up. Similarly, if let's say your 9s aren't super solid, but your 5s are. You can break this up into 5 groups of 6, or 5 times 6, plus 4 groups of 6, or 4 times 6, right? 5 groups of 6, 5 times 6, that's 30. 4 times 6, that's 24. And then 30 plus 24 is 54, the same answer we've been getting the whole time. Our answer stays the same because we're not adding or subtracting any dots. We're not adding or subtracting any value. We're just thinking about breaking it up in different ways. Now, it would be a little bit of a tough ask to ask every mathematician to draw out all of these dots every single time they want to multiply something. So instead of doing that, we use what's called the area model. So you could have let's get the proportions a little bit right at least. Thinking about it that way, right? 6 groups with 9 in each group. And you can break that up just like we broke it up, right? Let's break up our 9 into 5 plus 4. Okay, so just like we had here, 5 groups of 6 plus 4 groups of 6. Same thing here. 5 times 6 and 4 times 6. And then you can add those together. And it comes out to 54. Okay? This model, this area model, can be particularly effective with larger numbers, multi-digit numbers, where we can use our place value knowledge and solve it. So I've got one here, 36 times 27. All right? Now, see here. There it is. And what we've done here with 36 times 27, obviously we're not going to draw out 36 rows of 27 or 27 columns of 36. That's going to take forever. We want to be efficient with our mathematics as well as accurate. Okay? So we're going to break this up and we're going to use place value to break it up. So 36 becomes 30 plus 6. Likewise, 27 becomes 20 plus 7. And then with each piece, that becomes 4 partial products, or 4 partial or smaller pieces of our multiplication equation. Here we have 30 times 20. Which can seem big, but I want us to remember our multiples of 10 shortcut. Okay, whenever you see a 0 at the end of a number, like in 20 or in 30, we want to think of that adding a 0 means we're multiplying by 10, right? 20 is 2 times 10. 30 is 3 times 10. So if we were to split those up, we'd end up with 3 times 10 times 2 times 10. Seems like a lot. Let's take it in pieces. 3 times 2 is 6. And then we have multiplying by 10 twice, or multiplying by 100, because 10 times 10 is 100. And our shortcut, remember, every multiple of 10 you have, add 1 0. So if we're multiplying by 10 twice here, we add 2 zeros, which is equivalent to multiplying by 100. Okay, we did a lot of that work in 4th grade, so now we're ready to use that shortcut because we've already thought about it. Let's do the rest of our pieces. 20 times 6, or 2 times 6, and then add that 0 to multiply by 10. 30 times 7, or 3 times 7, and then multiply by 10. And then lastly, 6 times 7. And then let's add them up. To get a final answer of 972. Okay, so using those partial products is going to be a key to making multiplication feel less daunting. All right, let's try a couple of practice problems together before we go. Here we are at the whiteboard. So, turn my microphone here. Let's try, for this first one, let's try 34 times 4. Okay. Go ahead and write it on your whiteboard or on your scratch paper or in your notebook, and then however you want to solve it. If you're one of those people who really like standard algorithm, more power to you. Okay. If you like area model, which I do, go ahead and use area model. Okay. We'll set it up in area model this way. Okay. So we have our 30 plus 4. And then we're going to put our 4 over here. So envisioning that we've got our 34 rows, or 34 columns with 4 in each column, or we've got 4 rows with 34 in each row. Okay, this rectangle becomes 30 times 4, or because we have our 1 0, we can do 3 times 4, add a 0, and then 4 times 4 equals 16. Add them together. All right, check your answer, see how you did. And then before we go, we're going to try one more. I'm going to give about 10 more seconds and let people check their answers before I erase it. I don't want to erase it too fast. My dad tells me this story about when he was in school. He used to have this professor who would write out the notes on the board, and then as soon as he was done writing the notes, he would walk back to the beginning and grab the eraser and start to erase them. So if you weren't taking notes exactly while he was writing them down, you were going to miss it. I think that's a little mean personally, so I'm going to give you some more time. How fun is this rainbow pen, by the way? I'm really, really liking it. If it's too distracting, let me know at afternoon checkout, and I'll switch to a different pen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. And then let's try a 2 by 2, because those can be trickiest. Okay, so let's try something like 18 times 15. Okay? So here's your 15 rows of 18 or 18 columns of 15. And then thinking about how does 18 and how does 15 break up when we're thinking about place value, putting it in expanded form. So 18 equals 110 plus 8. So we're essentially breaking that line up into 10 plus 8 for a total of 18. Okay, and then on the side, same thing. 10 plus 5 and break it up. So with a 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication problem, you're going to end up with 4 partial products. Okay, one of the most common mistakes is we just multiply the 10s, multiply the 1s. So we get that box and this box, but we miss these two. Okay? Let's do it. Here we go. 10 times 10 equals 100. 10 times 8 equals 80. 10 times 5 equals 50. And 8 times 5 equals 40. Then we add them up. So we've got 100 plus, well, I'm just going to go, 100 plus 80 is 180. There it is. Plus 50. 0, 18 plus 5 is 23. Plus 40. For a total of 270. All right, check your work there. Check your partial products. Were we missing anything? Or did we have it all? All right. Giving it about 10 more seconds to check that out. Make sure our answers are correct. So, reminder, if you are still feeling a little shaky on multiplication, you've got some options. One, you can jump into the Zoom room, our usual Zoom link after this to get questions answered or to get feedback. Otherwise, the exit ticket is due at noon. The other thing you can do if you're feeling shaky on multiplication, go back through my channel, and there are videos up that go into a little bit more depth on multiplication. Okay? Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope this went well on your end. I'm going to have to watch it back later to see what it actually looks like on YouTube. But from my end, it looks pretty good. So thank you for tuning in. We will be back here tomorrow at 10:30 with another Math Live lesson. Same thing as before. Don't forget to do the exit ticket. Have a good rest of the day. Message me with any questions you might have. And then we will see you at 2:15 for our afternoon checkout. See you then. Take care.